Hello and welcome to this special conversation on BWTV. We are here in Gurugram, where today we are witnessing the grand opening of the UK's University of Southampton's first campus in India. At this special day, I'm joined by its President and Vice-Chancellor, Professor Smith, and it's a busy day for him. The Education Minister is coming, the Chief Minister of Haryana is coming, and yet, he's been able to manage some time for us to talk about the vision that he has through this campus for the education sector in India. Professor Smith, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And my first question to you, 2023 was the time when UGC allowed foreign universities to come in. What motivated University of Southampton to come to India? What is the larger vision that was in mind that when you thought that it is India that will establish the campus?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here on this very auspicious day for definitely the University of Southampton. I also hope the Indian higher education sector. So what motivated us was the fact that there'd clearly been interest in India for a long time. The university has long links with research, but clearly understanding about what we could contribute to higher education, undergraduate and postgraduate, was something that we've been thinking about for some time. However, under the old legislation, it was very difficult for us to be able to operate in the way we would want to be able to as a campus. However, with the new higher education policy, this completely revolutionised the way foreign universities could develop in India. And once that became law, it made India very much more attractive for universities. It was already attractive because, really important country, rapidly growing economy, really smart students. It then just needed the last piece of the jigsaw to fall into place, which is the legislation that allows you to operate. And that's what happened under the new higher education policy.
So you talked about the rapidly growing economy that India is witnessing right now. So when you see the larger global vision that the University of Southampton has, and then when you're seeing the Prime Minister of India's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, where does that global vision fit with the requirements and the pace with which the Indian economy is growing?
Yeah, so clearly we believe that the University of Southampton degrees are ideally, constituted to give students the background and broader skills they need to succeed in what is a very dynamic entrepreneurial economy. In fact, at the centre of our strategy of the whole university is something we call the triple helix, which means the synergy between education, research, but equally importantly, innovation and entrepreneurialism. And we think those characteristics mean that students that come out of the University of Southampton will be ideally suited for the dynamic vision there is for the Indian economy at 2047.
Where exactly, do you plan to ensure that the academic standards that we have here will be at par with what's taught in the UK's or the main home campus?
Okay, so you've asked an absolutely crucial question, because one of the things a university depends on is its reputation, and part of its reputation is its assurance of quality. So one of the key facets of what we're going to do here is make sure that we have absolute regard for quality. And the question then is, how do we do that? So the curriculum here is identical to the curriculum back at home. Obviously, there'll be some tailoring for the local context, but the core principles of the curriculum are the same. Any course that's approved here, new course that's approved here, has to be approved by our quality committees back in the UK. They can't start something here without us quality assuring it, because you must get a grip on that. Because if you lose that, you lose your reputation, and we depend on our reputation. But you can be absolutely reassured that it's one of the number one priorities to make sure that we assure that quality.
And what would be the faculty mix between local hiring and international?
Yeah, question. Let me unpack that question a little bit, because there will be some local hiring, but there'll be people who have got international experience that we want to transfer, that will be transferring here for their new job. And then there'll also be faculty who are University of Southampton employees who will be located here. So there are three groups, as I see it. There's those who will be people who are already in the Indian system. There will be those international faculty who are currently not our members of staff, but we will employ directly here. And the third category will be those members of staff who are our employees who will come and locate themselves here. And it's that mixture that's important. And I think one thing that India should be excited about is we've already done the first round of hiring, and the quality of people that we have managed to attract, particularly Indians, expats who want to come home, but have experience in international systems, is really, it's been beyond our expectations. So I think, India as a country can be very proud that it's beginning to attract back some of its brightest people from overseas.
Absolutely. Now let me talk about the target students. Is it the students who otherwise in India would have gone abroad after their class 12th or, secondary school, or we are targeting the broader regional audience? And, this question gains importance because given how President Trump has had a crackdown on higher education around the world, and since then, the debate in India is around whether it is time for private universities specifically, but now foreign universities like yours who are entering India, can they seize the moment to stop that brain drain?
Yeah.
I was reading a tweet yesterday that IITs, the Indian Institute of Technologies, they are making the talent for America and not India.
Yeah.
Referring to this brain drain, which has been a topic of debate since years. So how do you see this whole debate, and what will be the role of University of Southampton or the foreign universities in general?
Well, and I think you're right, more generally about foreign universities. So just a comment before I answer the specific question is, of course, the point I made about attracting expat staff back is already reversing that blame drain. So you're getting people who would have been lecturers in countries across the, beyond India are now coming back. So the fact that the campus itself is a small example of the reversal of that blame drain, and I'm sure other international universities do that. But then to answer your particular question about the students, in fact, this morning I've had the great pleasure to meet some of the students who have signed up and will start their degree with us in 5 or so weeks' time. And I asked them that very question. I said, why did you choose to come with the University of Southampton here? And they answered the question probably better than, so I'm going to use their answers to give you that. They said for a whole range of reasons. One was the fact that they can now get an internationally recognised degree, but they don't have to go to an overseas destination. They can get it here. And the reasons are very varied. One is they wanted to stay close to their parents. One is, of course, they can get it at a cheaper price than what they would get if they came to, not let alone the travel costs. So I think it will keep more of the Indian talent at home. Now, of course, what you see in any economy is when you have a magnet, which is a place that attracts the people, that's going to make that area more sticky. So if they had gone abroad, some of them would have come back, but some of them would have stayed abroad. If they stay here to start with, it's much more likely they'll stay within the India. So I think it will help with keeping. And there's fantastic talent in this country. So being able to see that retained here from the start is, I think, an important aspect.
Absolutely, and very rightly put. Let me talk to you about, I think this is probably my favorite questions when I'm interviewing vice-chancellors and, heads of universities.
Right.
And it's about industry linkages.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, after when they'll be completing their colleges, they'll be looking for placements, internships maybe. So how does that collaboration with the industry work? What is your understanding of the needs of the industry, what they want today, and how will the university prepare them?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because one of the things that we have embedded from the very start, and my team have been very proactive. In fact, just yesterday I met a couple of employers. We've been doing a lot of homework in asking employers what is you want in your graduates, and also would you be prepared to, for example, give guest lectures on our courses, and more importantly, would you be willing to offer internships and placements so that the students who come to the University of Southampton, Delhi, get experience of industry business as part of their course. In fact, what we've found back in the UK is if you compare students who are of similar academic quality, but those that actually will have industrial experience, and those that don't as part of their course, the ones who have the industrial experience tend to end up a lot better outcomes in terms of their employability. So we're very convinced that this is an important part of the overall education. So we're seeking to embed it from the very start here. We've already announced partnerships with Deloitte India, Comtech, Investec, etc. So we're trying to work with the employers. And one of the reasons for being based here is there's a very vibrant, high-tech industry, and so therefore we think our students will be immediately exposed to that.
Absolutely. A connected question to it. I was at a renowned university's campus on Sunday, this past Sunday, and they announced an AI campus in Andhra Pradesh, right? I want to understand you, not just from the perspective of India, but globally as well, given your experience. Have you been able to do some crystal gazing on what the future of jobs would look like, given the advancements we've seen in AI and the new tech coming, machine learning, and, and how will that differ from the jobs that we have today, let's say a decade later, 5 years later, and what would be vital for students or universities to get them ready for these particular jobs?
Yeah. So you've asked a question there which is absolutely at the top of the agenda of all universities across the world, because we're asking the question, are we really equipping our students for the jobs of tomorrow, not the jobs of today? Because the jobs of today, many of them are not likely to be there, even when they graduate.
Seeing it.
Yeah.
When we see layoffs, the number of job roles that are used to be there 5 years back.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah, and there are statistics already in the UK that people with traditional computer science degrees are less attractive than those that are in the employment market, than those that are beginning to understand how they adapt their skills to be AI ready. So it's something we're grappling. I don't have a full answer to your question, but I think we're aware of that, and in fact, the students and the employers can help guide us as to what they're looking for in the skills of the people that will succeed in the kind of AI employment market of the future. So what I really hope is that we are flexible as we develop our curriculum, so that students will be ready for that. I mean, it's difficult to know what exactly that means, but the point is we realise it's an issue, and we'll continue to work with people to make sure they are AI ready.
Professor Smith, one big pain point when we talk about the higher education sector in India has been quality research. It's not coming out from universities. Where, if you were able to, try to gauge as to where the problem is and how much of focus will quality research will be for University of Southampton, given the alignment, when they think about the larger economic goals that we talked about in the beginning. Quality research.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that the University of Southampton offers, because in the UK system, we're very lucky that we have reasonably well-funded research, which allows a number of universities, not only Southampton, probably about 30 universities, to be really high-quality research-intensive institutions, of which we're clearly one. So one of the things that we're bringing here is a long track record of being able to generate high-quality research alongside a high-quality education. And those exact principles will be transferred onto our University of Delhi campus. We are absolutely clear that from the start, this will be what we call, and I mentioned already, a triple helix campus, where staff get allocated time to pursue the highest quality research. And connecting them back to the UK is really important, and I think that's one of the reasons we've been able to attract high quality staff, is they can see we're serious about research, and therefore it goes back to your same question about quality. If you set quality standards about education, it's important also to have really high quality standards about the research, because you can do research which is low quality, but we're very committed to having internationally leading research, because if you look at international league tables, that measures one of the key measures there, is about international quality research. And if you look at, as University of Southampton, you'll know that we're a QS top 100 university, and one of our strongest indicators in that table is our research quality. You can be assured that you're getting a university that knows how to do it, takes it very seriously, and has a strong track record of delivering, and we will continue to deliver here.
Absolutely. Professor Smith, my last question to you. 5 years down the line, we're beginning the journey today, then probably with the students joining in from next month. Where do you see the journey going forward in the next 5 years in terms of the academic influence that this university will probably have in the country's education sector, any goal on the number of students that we can see enrolled here, and if any number you could give me on the investments planned in the future?
Yeah.
On those days.
Yeah. So we have very ambitious goals, because you've got such a large, high-quality student body that we do intend to grow reasonably rapidly. The plan is to get on the kind of 7 to 10 year timescale up to 5,000 students, and therefore we say what will it look like then? I think we'll be we'll obviously be in a much expanded site. I think we'll be regarded as being successful if other international universities have followed us, and that you've got a very vibrant international campus community. But I think the real test of success will be having those new universities as part of the ecosystem. Are they clearly embedded as a recognised part of the ecosystem? And are they working in partnership with other parts of the higher education sector to make the whole higher education sector more successful? Because the great thing, because of the student numbers in India and the growing population, people shouldn't feel threatened. They should feel that there can be an absolutely vibrant ecosystem. So I would say the success is we've grown to those numbers that I mentioned to you, that we're seen as a valuable part, but also a reliable and outgoing partner to the whole education sector, and that other universities internationally have come here, and you have a really vibrant, high quality higher education sector that builds on what you've already got.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Smith. I'll not take much of your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. You clearly outlined what your vision is for this university and the larger education sector in India. And our best wishes to you and your team.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate your interest in us. Thank you very much. Yeah, very good.